Hi, everyone. This is Clint McRee. I'm one of the co-founders of SourceDay. I was in manufacturing myself for a very long time, about 10 years. And during that time, we dealt with a lot of supply chain disruptions. It was a daily occurrence for us, something that we dealt with day in, day out. And as we started dealing with that, and we chased it. It was a very manual, time-consuming, resource-intense type thing. We did deal with it, but over time, I started to wonder if there was better ways to work with our suppliers to solve some of these challenges of suppliers running late, suppliers not being good at collaboration, and looked around the industry. Really didn't see anything, didn't see any solution out there, and started wondering if there was an opportunity to build a solution. When I left the manufacturing business, we started talking to companies similar to where I worked, and pleased to find out they had very similar problems to us and didn't really have a solution for it. So we knew we had an opportunity. So we started working on SourceDay and got to work. When we started SourceDay, we started supporting just one ERP, and that ERP is a product called Infor Syteline. The reason why we started there is because when I was in manufacturing, that's the ERP that I used for 10 years. So I was very familiar with everything about Syteline in terms of how it works, what are the good and bad of it, and then of course how to integrate to it. Since then, we've now integrated to dozens of ERPs, but we really focus on six core ERPs that we focus on today. So Syteline is still there, Netsuite, Epicor, Infor LN, Infor Visual, and Acumatica. So those are the main ones that we focus on today. In terms of extending the ERP, they are great solutions, and we really require an ERP, our customers to run an ERP. But they have areas where they need help. Certainly, there are many of them. We focus on the supply chain aspect of it, so we extend the information that is created and generated in the ERP out to suppliers. So suppliers can interact with things like purchase orders, and they can collaborate with their buyers. And then as that information gets updated, our integration makes sure that the data gets updated back into the ERP, which is where it's really valuable and needed. One of the things to note is, vendor portals, supplier portals are not new. They've been around for a very long time. The challenge for most of the solutions that are out there, especially the ones that are provided by the ERP publishers, is they don't have a lot of usage. And one of the challenges that they face is supplier adoption. One of the main things that has to happen for a solution like SourceDay or a vendor portal that is made by the ERP companies is you have to have supplier adoption. Suppliers have to adopt the solution for it to work. The ERP vendors will sell a solution, a software solution, but do not have any services or any help or assistance in the way of supplier onboarding. And that's where we come in. So when we built SourceDay, we really wanted to do two things. One, we wanted to have a world-class software application that would work well and solve a lot of challenging problems for our customers. But two, we knew we needed to address the supplier onboarding challenge. And so we have a team of experts and tools and information that we use to onboard suppliers to our platform. So we train suppliers how to use it, we set up their accounts, and we also are their support. So if we onboard a customer's suppliers, let's say tomorrow, and they have 100 suppliers, and one of them forgets their password, our customers don't have to worry about that with the suppliers because we do that for them. That's really a unique thing that we do that the ERP publishers don't. One of the main complaints that we hear in the land of ERP, and it doesn't matter which ERP we're talking about. I go around all over the country and I sit in a lot of user groups with various ERPs, and there's one common complaint, and that is that the people that buy ERPs and use ERPs don't trust the data in those systems. And while you can automate things, and SourceDay certainly has many automation capabilities built in, probably the most important thing that we do that's very unique, important to ERP users is we make sure that the data is accurate in the ERP as it relates to the supply chain. And if you really think about it, when you cut a purchase order in your ERP and the due date is wrong, for example, on that, it's not accurate, the supplier doesn't meet those due dates, it creates a ripple effect through the organization from production planning all the way out to delivering goods to your customers. And so it's super important to have that data be accurate on the beginning of everything, which is, of course, where those purchase orders are created. So data accuracy and ERP accuracy are very paramount to the value that we bring. We essentially knew when we started the business that we were part of sourcing. We'd been around, Tom and I had been around the tech industry for a while, and just trying to figure out a name that would be easy to spell, easy to understand, where you don't feel like you're having to say it over and over again. SourceDay jumped out at us. We actually couldn't just go get it. We actually had to buy it, the domain, from someone else. And that's how we landed on the name. It's just sort of the line of work we were in, and we wanted something that was very simple to be said and understand. The green, that's another interesting story. It makes me laugh when people ask that. Prior to being a SourceDay, I worked at a company and their color was green. We were in manufacturing and we had a tree as our logo, and I always worried that people thought we were in landscaping. So when we started SourceDay and our marketing team started going with green, because if the first colors we used were blue, when we started going with green, I was like, oh, here we go again. We're going to be using this green. But immediately when we went to a trade show, the green popped. People started responding to it, wanting to come by our booth. They wanted our shirts, they wanted our swag. And today I can tell you that we go to a conference, everyone is wearing green at the conference. We stand out, and it's been an amazing marketing tool for our company for sure. If you've talked to me before or have heard me interviewed, one of the things that I've said before, and I think it's super important to point out, is when we talk about the value of the company and what we do, it certainly has changed for me over time. Well, one of the things that happened fairly early is we interviewed a customer, a prospect that was looking at SourceDay. And after seeing a demo of our solution, she said the following: every day, at the end of the day, when everybody goes home, I stay here after work and I update our system manually. All the data that we have that changes from the suppliers, I manually add that. She said, after seeing your demo, I'm realizing that if I had your solution, that I would no longer have to do that I could leave work on time, and then I could have dinner with my family. Her story is what really excites me about SourceDay and being able to change lives for organizations. It's not always about dollars and cents. It's about making their lives better. And that's been certainly great. So our investors, our partners, our employees, our customers, that's what I really care about, is providing them a way to change lives and make their lives better.